Hey, what's going on, everybody? So we're going to have a little bit of fun today. One of my coworkers has actually done several of these, and this is where you take a random quote, a random Wikipedia article, and a random image from Unsplash and make a album cover out of it. And there's no cheating allowed. So basically, when it comes to design work, what you're really doing is it's more of an exercise in typography more than anything else, because you're given, you're given the band name, you're given the title, you're given the image. You just got to make it all look good together. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Before I get into the rules of what we're supposed to do and everything, please be sure to hit like and subscribe. Also click the bell for notifications to be notified of all new content. Okay, so here we go. So what you do is, first off, you go to this page right here, quotationspage.com/random, and just to be completely transparent, so just to make sure that I'm not cheating in any way, I'm going to go ahead and refresh. And it's supposed to be the first like 3 to 5 words of the very last quote on the page. So here we go. To find yourself jilted is. So there we go. So there's the album title. I'm gonna say to find yourself jilted. So that's gonna be the title of the album. That's actually a pretty cool title. So let's just kind of drop this into Illustrator real quick. I like to just kind of throw everything in Illustrator just to kind of, get things organized a little bit. So now we go to Wikipedia, and you go to random article, and this is this is supposed to be the band name. So here we go, nice and wordy. So 2014 Chrono Day Nations. I really hope I pronounced that right. I'm sorry. And then let's go to random photos. So whenever this was put together, and the way it was explained to me, we were using the program Sketch when we were putting this together. And there's actually a plugin that you can click on, and it gives you a random image from Unsplash. However, I don't use Sketch anymore, and I wasn't able to find anything that will give me a random photo from this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to random right here, close my eyes, and I'm going to press page down 5 times. And the first image that I see is going to be the album cover. So let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait. I forgot. I got to hit load more photos. Okay, let's go back up to the top. Try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The TV. There we go. The TV was the first one that I saw. All right. So let's copy the image, and we're going to drop this in. There's my Cocteau Twins right there, but I'm actually just going to drop this into Photoshop real quick. Start with the resolution just to give it a little bit of a higher size of what we got going on. And so now I'm just going to size this up. Now the cool thing is about these rules, like the image that you use doesn't have to take up the entire image of the whole like album cover. However, just kind of looking at this and just kind of seeing how things are going to be laid out and everything, I think I've already got an idea of how I'm going to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually move this over a little bit. I want it to be obviously off center. So I'm going to do something like that. So grab the right reference point there and enlarge it to this and go about right there. Looking good. Okay, and then I think what I'd like to do is maybe something like a solid color box or rectangle, just kind of covering up the left side. But I think I'm gonna pick up on a color in the background here, maybe like a lighter version. That's actually pretty cool right there. And let's see. Let's go in here and grab our band, which is this. I'm not gonna say it each time. I'm just gonna kind of do something like this. So for the colors, for the TV, like we've obviously got a very vintage type of feel here. So I think I'm going to go for this font, Bookmania. It's actually a really, really cool font. And so let's go Bookmania bold. And obviously we've got to, if we're going to use this one, we got to do an italic version. Okay. So let me do this. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to do the type layout in Illustrator, because that'll just be a lot easier to work with the type. And then I can just copy and paste it into Photoshop. All right. So Bookmania, bold italic. Plus, I should be doing that anyway. I should be doing that. All right, so let's double click on this. And as far as the kerning goes, we've definitely got our work cut out for us. I want to make the kerning look as good as possible. You know, this is going to be, you know, an album seen around the world, so on many people's shelves. So let's actually, before I do that, let's go in and maybe select an alternate glyph, and let's get the spacing right on this. Actually, I think I may do a baseline shift. Yeah, just a slight one, not too much. And C and the H, it's gonna be difficult to pull off with that particular glyph. So maybe that's looking a little bit better. So let's go back down to this. This is looking better too. All right, and don't want to overdo it. I'd like to find a glyph that maybe goes. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Something that doesn't push the other letters aside. And then I'll do. Just kind of continue with the kerning at this point. Bring this over here. Really hope there's not supposed to be an accent mark on that E. And let's take a look at the N. So for the... Okay, I actually do like that one. It does push over that A just a little bit, so but that's not that big of a deal. I can just kind of bring this in. The T and the I look good. I and the O, just bring it in a little bit. And then let's bring in the last one right there. Looking good. Okay, and then let's convert to outlines. Let's bring it over into Photoshop. And maybe something like this. Let's go ahead and I'd like to set up some guides so that I can kind of know where my limits are a little bit. 1 inch seems pretty good for a margin for a CD cover or album cover. Sorry. I know they also release them on vinyl. All right, color overlay, and let's just kind of pick up on that beige-ish color there. And I think that for something like this, we may do like a drop shadow. And let's go ahead and get that brown. I like that brown, actually. And I don't know if I want to do like a blur or anything. I think I'll probably just keep it at a 6. Let's see. Part of me wants to see what it would look like if we did something like this. Although I don't really like rotating this particular font, but I do want to see what it's like when we stick it over here in this box. Okay, that's actually... I don't hate that. And let's just assume for a minute that this is, you know, like a very well-known band, and maybe you don't have to bring up that bass line. So if we're gonna do that, then let's do this. Just kind of grab this over here and just kind of bring this slightly more in. Make it kind of look like a, you know, like a spine or something like that. That's too much. Let's bring it to about right there. That looks good. And then let's go in here to find yourself jilted. What a great quote for this to be our album name. Like I said, no cheating. Not allowed to cheat. All right. I like that O and the T. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. Okay. And let's just kind of bring this in a little bit. You definitely want there to be some separation between those two words, but, you know, still want a good amount of space in there. Okay, so I do like this one right here. Let's take a look at the lowercase y. That one's nice. Bring this over here. I don't want to do that U because that'll push everything out. What about the J? I like that little curly Q right there for the J. That's cool. That I is going to push everything over too. Okay, so I think maybe, okay, that's cool. And I think S for this one has a pretty cool, okay, there we go. All right, I don't want to overdo it, but I do like this right here. Let's just kind of bring in that E. Everything else looks good. This is one of those times where I really wish I had my glasses. By the way, if you've been keeping up with the whole glasses saga, I lost. Well, actually, I didn't lose them. Somebody stole my glasses on July 4th, and I ordered a replacement pair on the same night. They just shipped today. So thanks a lot, Pixel Eyewear. Not sponsoring this video. All right. And what if I'm wondering actually, this thought just kind of occurred to me. What if there wasn't really a lot of placement? What we can do something like this. Basically, you know, like if you were actually designing an album cover to be like this, you know, you would make sure that, you know, that your document is set up for a bleed and exactly where it's going to cut. That's where the type actually ends. So you would definitely need to be careful when it came to stuff like that. And I actually do like the way that it's kind of hanging off right there. That's pretty cool. I think that if you're going to do that, though, you may want to do something that is going to illustrate some of that depth. So maybe something like a really subtle drop shadow. So maybe do like big distance right here, and then take it down to about 10, and then we'll take our opacity down to like 20, something like that. That way you're kind of showing the, yeah, like it's real nice and subtle. It's kind of interesting. I actually feel like it works really well. The only thing is that I think there needs to be, like, if there's going to be depth to the type itself actually hanging off of this bar. You know what? Let me name my layers like a good designer. All right, and go over here. Let's stack these. I actually would like to stack baseline right to baseline right there, and let's maybe move this to about right there. I don't like that opening that's creating. Let's just kind of see what that looks like. No, that's too crazy. Okay, so there definitely needs to be some obvious separation right here. We'll bring this back all the way down to the edge, and then we'll grab our rectangle and bring it to about right. Actually, let's do this. Let's do what we did before, where we had like the top of it. Always need to try new and interesting ways to set type, set your elements, things like that, to find yourself jilted. Okay, so what I was going to say earlier was this rectangle needs a little bit more depth. So let's go ahead and I'm going to grab the hex value for this, and let's do a gradient overlay on it using the colors that we had right here. So this one, and then we'll just go slightly darker on that, and we will do like an angle one right there, maybe coming up from, like, you know, top left all the way down to the bottom right, just kind of getting progressively darker. I think that looks good right there. It gives it just a little bit more depth for what we need. And then let's go up here to the very top layer. I want to add in some grain, but I may only add it to the actual rectangle. Let's just kind of see what things look like here. And okay, so the overlay, it's kind of hard to see. But you know, like just kind of zoom in a little bit, you know, like once you get past 100%, things start to get really pixelated and everything. But this is kind of what it looks like when it's sitting across all of it. So as you can see, when we added in that gradient overlay right there, you know, most of the time, well, actually all of the time, you get a very clean look. But once you add something like a gradient, or sorry, grain or something like that on top of that, it's gonna give it a lot more depth and just kind of bring it through a little bit more. And I feel like we're definitely getting that that effect on the bar and then also on the type itself. So now that I've added it, I think that I want to I think I want it across the entire like across the whole album cover itself. So looking very cool, and not bad at all for just kind of putting together, you know, a completely improvised album cover based on random things that you find online. So if you want to play, definitely make a video. I would love to see it. Like I really enjoy seeing my coworker doing this, although he hasn't done it in forever. It's been forever since he's done one. But I enjoy seeing it. I enjoy kind of seeing the thought process behind it and everything. So if you want to give it a shot, do what I did, make a video, and definitely send it over to me because I'd love to see it. And I hope you learned something from the video if you're a designer, and if you're not a designer, I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you so much for watching, and also please remember to click like and subscribe. Also, click the bell for notifications. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Sorry it's late. I'm behind on making my videos, so I've got to make them at night this week. Everything's been crazy. But thank you so much for all the subscribers out there, and thank you. How many times am I going to say thank you? Thank you again. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.